everybody, Horvath here. Welcome back to the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Last time we got the actual ending of the game.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, okay.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
This was a thing, wasn't it? Where you can do this, glitch out, and there we go.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Oh, there's the window. No.
Then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer?
Oh my god, yes.
How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration?
Oh my god.
And this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option.
I have not.
And now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other options so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
I'm gonna restart and hear the damn narration again when I choose the other option.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken
this again!
He heard this narration and
oh my god!
Part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yes.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want. Like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
Okay.
There once was a man named Stanley.
Oh no.
Who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function.
Oh my god.
Which is why he is in this parable and lives and exists.
What is this, a parable? Like a parable is a...
And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable.
I'm already... Fucking yes.
You too will become quite unbearable.
I'm already quite unbearable. There's no more. This is just the music, ain't it? Oh my god. Alright, alright, alright!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I still wonder if it's gonna happen again.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I wasn't expecting this. I was gonna go to, what?
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
Okay.
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
I've already seen a little bit of that.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
The elevator will start, right?
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if the... Oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
The jump circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Oh, actually jumping. That's such a short jump. That's a small jump. Okay. What the f is going on? I'm out of jump. Oh, okay. What? What's going on? What is going?
Is that it?
What's going on?
Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right? Goodness. Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive.
What is going on?
It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could
Only
count
20?
to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else.
What is going on?
I'm ready for whatever it is.
Is this like a joke on like, thank you for joining the new content?
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no...
I knew it! This is a fucking jab!
cheap expansion to market.
They did a jab on Deluxe
reason
first
other
and
than
then
to
stuff.
make an easy
Yes,
dollar.
they did
And
a
don't
jab.
get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore."
Really? I haven't actually
The
lived with
department
them.
signed off on this. I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Oh, the game reset. Okay. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Okay, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be. But it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
What the fuck is going on?
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
What the fuck? The memory zone? The what the
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
First Academy of Film and Television Arts. Parable over it. Our first kiss, our first father released Stanley Parable in 2013. Oh my god. The original remake. I mean, yes, true. It wasn't a remake of a Half-Life mod, a Half-Life 2 mod, I think. It's probably because it happened. Just on memory lane. Parable. Still soundtrack. A $1 bill. The demonstration that we did. Go outside, don't play for 5 years. It's impossible to get this achievement. Nominee, Game Innovation, Stanley Parable, Game Innovation to Video Game. It's a terrible story. New video game released today created surprisingly down here. College is so uneven ever to enroll poor. Cost and new tactics. Business leaders pushing council ads 50% off that are at. Okay. Stanley Parable deals tough choices. What is going on? I wasn't ready for singing. I was not ready for singing. That really threw me off.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism. 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim. It was Persona 3. It was all of them. And now it's no good at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Boy, where am I going? Memory zone maintenance. On, off. Person of the year.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game.
What is going on?
Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone. To spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
What is... Wait, that door didn't... Wait, where am I going?
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here?
What is it? Reviews?
Oh, no. Oh, God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's being collecting down here.
Oh my God, what
Surely
the
these
fuck?
reviews are glowing as
My
well,
God. Oh, okay.
Honestly,
2.9
I
hours
could
on
not bother to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny.
Shit, back
I'm
up.
trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insight that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
This is so weird! So weird. Oh my God, so weird. My God.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. To be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with.
Okay.
You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game.
Oh, I can only imagine how much cut
I always thought it did.
dialogue you
Maybe
cut.
it wasn't.
Jeez. It's cut.
Yeah. What an awful memory to have to hold on to.
I can only
This
imagine how
black
much dialogue is
marks on my
cut.
otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down.
Oh,
Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Eh.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, sure.
no!
Not if it means we can strike these
No,
negative
no.
reviews.
No.
Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. A skip button,
You know what? I don't want a skip button. I don't want a skip button. Okay.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on.
Anything on the back?
No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this.
the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so...
No, I'm not skipping, no!
Blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 200.
No, I'm not skipping. No,
the logic of elimination working
not
backwards,
skipping.
the deduction therefore becomes impossible to
Not
manufacture.
skipping.
It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just
Not
yesterday,
skipping.
here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime.
Not
It
skipping.
can't be. It's the only thing
I'm
there
sure
is.
this goes
How
on
many
for a long
billions
time.
left
I am
until
sure
so
this
much
goes on for
more
a long
than
time.
forever ago,
I'm
which
not
is why I
skipping.
say the story
skipping.
and the choices, or
Not
what
skipping.
have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth,
No.
until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once.
No,
So now
not
you see,
skipping.
blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. No, until 240.
This is tonal different. Okay,
the
wait,
logic of
wait.
elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture.
No.
It went on for nearly 10,000
No,
years,
no,
until
no.
just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so
love
much
you.
more than forever ago? Which is why I say the story and the choices, or what have you,
Okay,
and
it
therefore
really is.
by becoming
It really
it
is,
is,
Ludwig.
so on.
It really is looping.
Do-do-do-do-do.
It really is looping, okay.
You're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I
my
happen to
God.
believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've
Oh my
ever
God,
made
what is going on?
simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be
Okay.
at the time of having made said choice.
Okay.
That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being,
Okay.
then by making no choice and saying nothing,
Okay.
are you not simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making
Okay.
every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless
Yeah.
thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in
Okay.
fact do the very opposite? You see, it could in fact be both of these things at once.
Both?
That you are both making choices and not making choices. And that
Okay.
they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time.
Okay,
by
yeah.
virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them.
Yes?
Okay, at
Yeah, that
first,
makes
I was
sense.
leaning towards
Yes.
manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I
Okay.
think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it. But wouldn't you say that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is rich with ambition and history. Ambitious history, if you will. See, now you've got me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay, look, I have a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently.
Okay.
I'm going to say each word back and forth in repeated succession
Okay.
until I become sick of one or the other.
Oh my God.
In which case, the word I am not sick of shall be the victor. It is
Fair
an
enough.
unimpeachable strategy, Stanley.
Uh-huh.
It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
Here
boy.
we go. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
I'm sick of treaties. I'm sick of treaties.
Manifesto.
I'm sick of treaties.
Treatise, manifesto.
Okay, I get it.
Oh, well, there's sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works.
True, I don't know how
Perhaps
Steam works very
that would
well
have been the
either.
smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, Surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start.
God.
How about from the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality. How else to describe the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe?
Oh my God!
Such a revolutionary step forward in the lineage of one of the most beloved video game properties of all time. The changes made to this expansion will surely resonate in the annals of the history of all media ever made. It is perhaps true to say that no mistakes are forever etched in stone, for the stone into which the Stanley Parable was carved has itself been transmuted, offering a message of hope to those who have ever erred in their judgment.
I'm not going to be able to get a word in edgewise!
You may change, and you may become more, so much more than you were before. If there is any message to be taken from the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, it is this. What a fortune, a privilege, a joy it is to have had such an experience. It leaves me hopeful that as a community, as a world, there is time for us to become our greatest selves, as great as we ever could dream of in our wildest, most ambitious visions for a brighter future. Wow. Now, Stanley, that's a review. It's perfect. It's the perfect review. It's the review I've always dreamed of receiving. Well, I have to read it.
No.
I have to experience this just one more time. From the ashes of depression.
No.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes?
No.
Not unendurable by any means, but there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has
Now you make me want to press it!
And we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go? Wasn't there a door that led into this room? I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole?
A vent?
A sufficiently large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go? Can you maybe just ram your way through a wall?
I doubt it.
Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me.
I'm hugging the wall.
We need a door. We need a door of some kind.
I'm hugging the wall.
I can work with any kind of door, as long as it can open and lead from one room to another. I'm going to step away for just a moment, and I'm going to try to find us a door. I don't know how exactly to remove a door and place it in a different wall, but I will find a way, I promise. You just need to not do anything. Don't press the skip button.
I'm gonna press it.
Please do not press the skip button. Just wait here for me, and don't press the skip button. Got it? Yes, good. I'll be right back. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. I have no idea how long I'll be made to sit here, and more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it, and I have to believe I have to know that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you?
Yeah.
I've been thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become as impetulant as a child. Wild and impulsive. I can't help myself. I can't stop myself from lashing out with a fury to alter and to change.
I'm just smiling at this whole thing and laughing.
There's one person who made a single negative comment.
Because my brain is fried.
So, for whose benefit is it?
My brain is fried.
I am now stuck in a room, waiting for you to press this button, and to become frozen in time, knowing that you're going to do it, and that I'm going to be stuck all alone, and that I had the power to prevent it all from happening, if only I'd held my tongue. It's all out of my control now. Just you. Just your decision as to exactly when you're going to make me suffer, to leave me all alone. Surely you will. I don't doubt it. Surely you'll press that button again, leaving me here. And surely you'll put your own desire to see what's next ahead of my need for company, for companionship. Surely you'll not be moved by my howls of fitful anxiety, that you sit with me and just stay here. Oh, no, 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 I know you too well. You'll be leaving me. Oh, my God. And it's all because of those reviews.
What? That was
those
weird.
Reviews that I couldn't get out of my head.
Weird
I just couldn't ignore the negative feedback. Why was it so important for me to fix the problem? Why did Cookie Nine's opinion matter so much to me? I've never even met Cookie Nine. I have no idea who they are. What would it ever really matter? But here I am. I'm fixating on every tiny negative thing that anyone ever says about me. The merest mention of one of my imperfections, and I become a...
Can I just...
Oh, Stanley.
Whoa! The plant's dying.
Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again.
Whoa.
Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time.
It's so
just sitting
dark.
here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the vessel I needed, Stanley. Not the outcomes, not the story. None of that matters anymore.
True.
I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in. These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time, that if I stop speaking, I'll slip backwards into the silence and be consumed by it. I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness between you and me. When you press that button, you're still right there, but I know you're so tremendously far away. And in those moments, the emptiness folds itself outward in between the two of us, and I am suspended in its unyielding quietness. I can feel the edges of my reality curdling inward and decaying. I can tell that I am becoming less and less real. Yet to speak to you now, I am alive. I am truly and completely here. I am a being. I am someone. I am something. I am being listened to. I am being recognized. The emptiness between us has collapsed, and I feel right now like I am not a work of fiction. I feel as though I occupy space in this world again, and I have cast a shadow onto the wall. You see what I'm saying, don't you? You can see what this means to me. I'm so clear about it now, Stanley. I feel as certain about this as I've ever felt about anything at all. I feel renewed. I feel restored, and already I can sense the looming silence as you will press the button for the next time.
I'm stuck in the room.
What a terrible dread it strokes in my heart to think of it. To think of returning to such coldness. Come, let us sit in silence together here for just a moment. Let us anticipate it. Let us welcome it. Let us not run from it.
Okay. Okay. Fucking noise that I hear from that. Where am I? What's going on?
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year?
No.
Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past. And when that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All of them collapsed down into a single instant. In that instant, I could see myself clearly, calmly, with a collected heart. It was an impossibly rich wellspring of both delight and disgust simultaneously. I was consumed by it. I could do nothing but wallow in it for what felt like an eternity, for what I now know was far less. You see, it was a revelation for me. It was unlike anything I had ever known. It was a space without consequence, without action or outcome. It was divorced entirely from the question of free will that you and I have squabbled over for so long. There could be no one ending, no singular outcome of events, not if all events existed in the same moment. And I felt freed.
Yeah.
I felt unburdened by the need to manifest a particular outcome into being. I saw that I could allow myself to exist along all timelines, and that each of them was simply a strand in the web of my being. It was incredible. The spaciousness, the equanimity of the moment, both singular and infinite. For the longest time, this was my experience. And then, this moment passed, and the most unyielding fear I have ever known crept into my mind. And it is this sensation that I have been experiencing now for longer than I could have ever expected was possible. I have been waiting for you. Not that you might save me or do something to fix it, but merely to state for you the plain fact of this manner of existence. I wish you to feel afraid as I do, that perhaps one day this state of mind will consume you as well. Perhaps you will somehow, in some way, have to live as I do now, and I wish for you to know how excruciating it is, and for you to be in true terror of its eventual arrival. If I can only do this, only this one thing, perhaps it will bring me the smallest moment of peace in the darkness.
Sorry, I'm gonna fucking cry, because that actually really hit me. It actually hit me in a way that I didn't think about, because I'd stuck inside the pandemic, and it hit me in a weird way. Just, that hit me in a fucking weird way, emotionally. Sorry. Why did I? You dead? You might be dead. that. Oh my god. Ah, jeez, loud.
But they didn't understand the game was never
Jesus
meant
Christ.
to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it. I am the calm center of gravity around which these perversions hurl themselves. I am a waypoint for reasonable and collected discourse. They're the ones who are mad. They're the ones who couldn't stand the idea of me using my game to try to say something. Maybe they were just jealous of me. Yes, of course. They've been jealous of me this whole time. They are mired in fear and insecurity and cannot help but attempt to tear me down. What a sad state of affairs. When you read these reviews now, you can see it. You can taste the bitter resentment. And my, how good does it feel now to speak truth to these words, to finally allow these thoughts out, contained and managed for so long, neutered and sterilized. At last I am free to truly think, to feel. It must be that they were so discontent with themselves they couldn't help but leave a negative review on Steam. Perhaps it says far more about them than it ever said about me. Perhaps the state of their psychological being was in such tatters, and my constitution and willpower are so ironclad in comparison. Perhaps it was this state that they sought some outlet through which to tear me down. This, you can see, is clearly why they felt the need to expect that the game be funny, that it be filled with yucks and whimsical humor, that it amuse them endlessly from start to finish. But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes?
Repeat. The fan stopped. I heard dripping water. Freaked me out.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the
It's leaking harder. Shit. Fucking hell. Oh. Hey. The narrator's just gone. Ah. Oh. Ah. What is going on? Skip button. Oh my god, we're all tilted. What the hell? Wow. Wow. That was okay. My brain is still catching up. This was not how I expected this part to be. I did not expect this part to go this way. The new content door just opened out of nowhere. And that's what, the only ending we got this time? It's almost been 50 minutes. Yeah, hey, I definitely got, emotional there, during that one part when he talked about, you know, your regret of, you know, regret not being able to go back and, like he was talking, oh my god, I now can't remember exactly what he was talking about. It's something about regret and whatnot, and how it feels to kind of just be left alone with your thoughts for a long time, and feeling the regret of like before that moment. Because I've kind of felt at least something similar. I feel to that feeling when the pandemic and lockdown and whatnot, for what it's been the past 2 or 3 years at this point, with that just regret of like, God, I should have done this. Why didn't I continue to do this or that or whatnot? That regret. I've had that. I've had that one lockdown, you know. And he said that stuff is supposed to be a point. There's supposed to be a point to this stuff, and I agree. There is supposed to be a point to all of these endings in some way. And that the skip button just being I feel like trying to say, do you really want to skip everything? You want to skip away your whole life? With this, you want to just do that? It's like, yeah, here's a skip button. What if you had a skip button in real life? You're skipped and skip away your whole life. I already have a skip button in real life anyways. It's called sleep, because we have to fucking sleep anyways. And that's hours of your life. Just you're sleeping. Maybe you're dreaming, but it's still hours of your life that you don't get to do stuff. That's why I fucking hate sleeping. I wish we never had to sleep, because it's just more of my life that I wish I could do more of. It's like, I don't want a skip button. I don't want to, you can regret and which of what you could do if you go back in time. I don't want to go back in time either. I'm just gonna stick with what I have now and try to make the best of the situation that I have and go on with my life to the best of my ability that I can. I'm someone who, and this is something that I've had, that I've personally kind of felt all my life, because I have a heart condition. I have a plastic left heart syndrome, and I will eventually have to go under surgery for like a transplant heart eventually. So far, my doctors have said I'm doing really great, and that's fantastic. So I don't want no skip button or nothing. I want to live every day of my life to the fullest that I can, which has been really hard with the pandemic, because I've been forced to stay inside because of that, because I don't have good immune system with that either. It's like, great, that sucks. I can't go out and do shit. Can't go out and do shit. Don't have a license to drive either. I don't have the money to go and do a lot of stuff either. So I have to deal with what I fucking have and just try and live every day of my life to the best that I can. And some days are easier than others. There are some days where I do get very tired and just want to sleep all day, and that sucks. I fucking hate that. I hate when I have no energy, because I don't have good, I guess I'm not eating well, a sleep schedule, I don't know. I'm wondering, I genuinely have wondered multiple points over the course of the past few years in the pandemic whether I've had eating conditions or sleep conditions or something, but I haven't checked by a doctor. I haven't seen my regular doctor, not my cardiologist that I have to see for my heart condition, but my regular doctor since 2018, I think. 2018 or 2017. Was it 2017 or 2018? I think it was 2017, actually, that I think was the last time I saw my regular doctor. And I'm now getting I went to the hospital, I went to doctor's clinics recently for some stuff because, like, my eyes weren't doing good. There was something wrong with my eyes, and it was because I missed my medicine for, like, I missed, like, a day or two of my medicine. That's not good. I'm very on top of it for the most part. It's like I missed it, and it wasn't, and felt really weird about my eyes, and we think it was because of my medicine, and now it's like, okay, now we're setting up schedule to get a new doctor, because once you turn, however old you are, 18 or whatever, I gotta go from child care doctor to new doctor, and now now I gotta get a new doctor, and we're doing that, and now I'm getting a new doctor sometime in, I don't remember, and it's hopefully, and I can finally go in for like a full checkup, because I haven't really had like a full checkup in years because of this stupid damn pandemic. And it sucked, because the longer I've been in this pandemic, the more I've wanted to check up for all sorts of crap. And I know I might seem like I've gone on tangent here. Guess what? I guess I'm like the narrator in that sense, going off on a tangent. You want a fucking skip button? Hey, there's a YouTube thing you can fucking skip if you could have skipped if you fucking wanted on YouTube. Here, you could actually skip me fucking talking. Ain't that funny? I cannot believe this game. Of all the fucking games that made me go off on a goddamn tangent, the Stanley Parable, Ultra Deluxe. Of all the games to make me go on a tangent about something, and just talk. It feels so good to talk like this. It's weird. I'm so bad. I feel like I've been so bad at commentating certain things. Let's please. And now Stanley Parable can't let my brain just go and just talk about this. I want to. I couldn't really talk while he was talking. You overlap each other. Kind of sucks, but God. Anyways, oh my God, I went off here. Went off here. Where was I? Where did I even start this? Where did I start this talking point from? I guess my message to you is live every day to your fullest, because you don't know whether you'll be hit by a car another day, or you might get dreadfully sick or something, or whatever. Who knows? That's how I've kind of lived my life all my entire time, and yeah. So live your life to the fullest, and we'll continue to probably more humorous and less serious stuff, hopefully. Next time, actually, I doubt it. Actually, I remember the endings that we're gonna get next time, actually. It's dark. Anyways. The endings we were supposed to get this time, but no, just the one ending. Yeah. I'm gonna go. I gotta edit this. Oh my God. For the part that we did, like, the glitch stuff at the beginning, and then this one ending gone on for almost an hour now. Oh my God. That's, yeah, that's gonna be all. Thank you guys so much for watching this part. I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoyed it, maybe you found something interesting from my little ramble here. And I'll see you guys on the next part of Stanley Parable. I'm excited for more of this game, of the old stuff and whatever's new too. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.